Coming into the 2022 season, I thought that the New York Jets would be a very much improved football team than what they were in 2021. And that turned out to be the actual case, that this New York Jets football team was very much improved in 2022 and was on the cusp of making the playoffs. Now that the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers is official, the expectations for the New York Jets in 2023 are much higher than what they were coming into 2022. They have expectations of possibly being a playoff contender, maybe a Super Bowl contender with the way that this roster is constructed. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the task of the New York Jets possibly taking over the AFC East with now all of the acquisitions and the pieces that they have on their roster. But before I get into my thoughts on that, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the algorithm. And if you are not subbed, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But it's time to talk about the Jets. Without further ado, let's dive into it. The New York Jets are coming off of a 2022 season which saw them finish 7-10, and in my opinion, they were better quarterback play away from actually being themselves in the playoff hunt and possibly in the playoffs themselves. Now, that 2022 season is coming off of a 2021 season where they finished 4-13 and they were 28th in points per game with 18.2. But they were absolutely horrible on defense, finishing dead last in points against with 29.6. And the only way that this team could have went is up with all the improvements they made in the 2022 offseason. And they did just that, especially on the defensive side of the football. Now, offensively, they still weren't a very good offense, finishing 29th in points per game with 17.4, but that defense improved dramatically, finishing 4th in points against with 18.6. And a big part of that was the play of rookie corner Sauce Gardner, the reigning defensive rookie of the year. Now, he only had 2 interceptions, but at the end of the day, he had 20 pass deflections, and he was named first team All-Pro and a Pro Bowler in just his rookie season. He's become already one of the best corners that we have in the NFL today. And on top of that, you had the play up front of Quinnen Williams, who was also a first-team All-Pro and also a Pro Bowler. And then you had C.J. Mosley as the anchor on that defense, making the Pro Bowl as well. And the expectations for this defense is only to go up with second-year defensive end Jermaine Johnson, who I think can be a very much improved player on the defensive side of the ball for the Jets. Now, we flip to the offensive side of the ball for the Jets in 2022. And it just wasn't very good, especially at the quarterback position. You went from Mike White, you went from Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, to even Chris Streveler, and this team just did not have the best of quarterback play. Even though they had the reigning offensive rookie of the year in Garrett Wilson from The Ohio State University, who emerged himself as to a very good pass catcher. Now, me personally, I saw it all in college, so it didn't surprise me at all that he was able to have some success in the NFL. Now, we're talking about Garrett Wilson, who finished with 83 catches for 1,100 yards and 4 scores. But I think he's going to be much improved with this New York Jets team acquiring Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers. Now, Aaron Rodgers is going to elevate this offense tremendously. And on top of that, you get a running back who was very productive before going down with injury in Breece Hall to pair with Michael Carter, who I think they can make a very good running back tandem for this New York Jets offense. You have the improvements on the defensive side of the ball and Robert Saleh's influence on that side of the ball. We've seen that improvements in 2022, and I think they can only be at that same level or maybe even better with guys getting more experience and getting more continuity together as a defensive unit. I think this team is going to be a very, very hard out for any team that they face this season. Now, let's talk about two of the teams that they're going to have to compete with in the AFC East division. I'm not going to tackle the New England Patriots because at the end of the day, I just don't think the New England Patriots are at the level of any of these three teams that we have coming up. First, we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have a very scary offense with Tua Tagovailoa if healthy. You have a guy like Tyreek Hill and you have Jaylen Waddle. So I think the Jets match up very well against that offense with Sauce Gardner. You have DJ Reed on your corners. Jordan Whitehead is a very productive safety as well. So I think they match up well against the Miami Dolphins team. And on the defensive side of the ball with the Dolphins, they do have shutdown corners in their own rights in Xavier Howard and a guy like Jalen Ramsey. But the Jets have so many weapons that they have on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, you talk about Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, who they acquired this offseason, and a guy like Mecole Hardman, who they also acquired this offseason, that has a lot of speed to him as well, that can give defenses fits. So the Jets and Dolphins matchups are going to be very interesting. And I think the Jets, if they're healthy and they're playing at their level, can overtake the Miami Dolphins. Now, one team that has been reigning over this division the past couple of years is the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills, we all know, I personally think Josh Allen is my favorite quarterback in the NFL, and he still has those multitude of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. When you talk about Stefon Diggs, who's one of the best receivers in the league, Gabe Davis is one of the better number 2 receivers, Khalil Shakir, who had a very good season last year, Dawson Knox, and they drafted Dalton Kincaid at that tight end position. Then on top of that, I think the running game for the Bills will be much improved with James Cook, and they acquired Damian Harris and Latavius Murray, and they still have Nyheim Hines on this roster. So when you think about the Jets matching up against this Buffalo Bills offense with that defense of Sauce Gardner led by CJ Mosley, I think when you have that, the Jets, if they're playing right and if things come together, they could possibly have the ability to overtake the Buffalo Bills in this division. Now, the Bills on defense, they get a healthy Von Miller. They do lose Tremaine Edmonds to the Chicago Bears, but you still have Tre'Davious White, who's a very good corner when healthy. They get Micah Hyde back. They get Jordan Poyer. I really believe this Bills defense with Von Miller healthy can be a very scary defense, but they're going up against the Jets offensive line that's no slouch in their own rights with healthy Mekhi Becton, healthy Elijah Very Tucker, Laken Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, Dwayne Brown when healthy is a very good left tackle. So I believe they have the pieces to go up against the Buffalo Bills team. Now, can they overtake the Buffalo Bills? If Aaron Rodgers plays well and Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I think they can overtake the Dolphins for sure. But when you're talking about the Buffalo Bills team and what they've been the last couple of years, it's going to take another MVP-like type of a season from Aaron Rodgers for me to believe that this Jets team can overtake the Buffalo Bills as both rosters stand right now. Now, of course, I think the Jets have a better defense than the Bills defense has, but it still remains to see if Aaron Rodgers can truly be that game changer and really make this Jets offense so much better. Now, improvements, yes, they're going to have them, but with the weapons that they have on the offensive side of the ball for the Jets, they can take the Buffalo Bills. But in just my honest opinion, I don't think this team is there yet. They're still young at a ton of positions. While they're talented, but I still think this team is very young at a lot of positions and a lot of key positions. Who's to say that they can't? You can't count the Jets out. You can't count Aaron Rodgers out. In my personal opinion, I don't think they will overtake the Bills. I believe they will be neck and neck, but I do think they will overtake the Miami Dolphins in this division. But hey, those are just my thoughts on the Jets possibly overtaking the Bills in this division. If you believe that they will, if you believe that the Bills will still reign on top, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, click the like button so this channel can continue to grow. And if you are not sub, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can continue to help this channel to grow. But I am APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.